G'day everyone, this is Rangadad. Sorry it's been a while, just been busy and sick and all sorts of stuff, so um, thought I'd give an update because we did kind of hit the targets from the last video I did previously, which were around that 48 mark. I think it was 48 to 50 or something around there I was talking about. Anyway, we've hit that and got a pretty good little sort of blow off here, and we're in a bit of a range. So this range here, sorry, just don't normally use these tools, so it takes me a little bit. I'd sort of draw this range around about here like this. If we break out of that on either side and confirm breakout, then we're going higher. My gut feeling at the moment is we're just in a little bit of a bull trap here, and we'll probably be going lower in the next couple of months. Sorry, next couple of weeks. So, why do I say that? Well, we are fairly overextended. We go through to let's say monthly. If we look at the monthly, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we go green again, that would be 6 months in a row green. Typically, we don't see that prior to a proper bull run, like before the halving. And we're pretty overextended compared to Bollinger Bands and all sorts of stuff. Well above the 50 EMA on the monthly. And we typically do get sort of a retest of that 50 EMA before we go into a proper bull run. So this is the 2018, 2017 high. We had the bear market, we had a run up, and then we actually came back down and tapped on the 50 before we ran up again. Could say it's already done that here, maybe, but it just typically you don't go on these massive runs with this sort of shape. You can see here it starts pretty low, goes sideways for a bit, and then takes off. And in this case, it's more like a bounce, and we're sort of slowing down already. That's not a typical run up into a bull market. So I think at the moment we are probably just going to tap on this level here, probably around that, 45.5, maybe 46 in this current little run that we're doing. Let's go back to this one, sorry. Which would be in that sort of top of that box there, would be about 45. So we might go back up into here a little bit. So breakout, false breakout, come back in, and then I think that would probably be the last little breakout before we actually do a bit of correcting. First target for your corrections is around that 36.5k. Second target is probably closer to the 30k mark. There is another technical target, I would say a technical target of around that 26 to 27,000 mark as well. I'd be surprised if we go much lower than that. If we do go lower than that, it's likely due to some pretty bad global economic forces. Some sort of black swan event again. In which case, if we get lower than that, I'll definitely be starting to buy up a little bit more aggressively. But for the time being, I've had a few trades overnight just trading this little pump, but yeah, I don't think we'll go much higher than this. We are on sort of declining volatility. The parabolic SAR could flip any minute. I think it will if we get sort of another green candle and then a rejection of that. We are in the bullish control zones for RSI and sort of volatility, Bollinger Band volatility, but that's on the daily, so typically they're better reads on the lower term timeframes anyway. As you can see here, we've got a bit of a stopping volume candle. I don't know that this will finish it off though. I think we still have a little bit to run. I'll be watching SAR pretty closely just to see if it flips, then I'm out. I think this run will be over. But at this stage, I think there's still another leg up. Typically, you do get sort of 3 legs up. The middle one is normally the bigger one, which is what we've seen. This one here should be somewhere similar. So I might not go too much higher actually on this one. Just depends what sort of buy-in we get from big players, but yeah, there's not a huge amount of volume so far in this one, so we'll see how we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think yeah, after this little run up, we'll get a decent correction. I'll just do a quick look at, let's look at the NAS, see what it's doing. I mean, traditional markets are just ridiculous at the moment, but volatility is sort of dropping off. Let's go to a daily. So we've been in this bullish control for weeks now. We've got to be getting close to this flipping, I would think. Volatility is starting to increase on the daily. If we do, given that we are so close to flipping here, I would expect a pretty decent correction from here. Wouldn't be surprised if we get another little blow off top here, get close to that 18,000, which is just nuts to think about. It's not far away. Markets like round numbers, so that's quite a high possibility. And in terms of the SPY or the S&P 500, we have reached that 5,000 mark. I'd be surprised if we go too much higher than that. Volatility's starting to increase, and again, we're pretty close to flipping, but as you can see here, that doesn't necessarily mean a hell of a lot. We only got some pretty small corrections the last couple of times this happened. But, you know, with the right conditions, when it flips, and if it's flipping from a fairly low volatility reading, then we can get a decent sort of correction happening. So I think we're overdue. I think it will happen. Trying to pick it, it's really hard in this market. The zero DTE options seem to be propping up the market a bit. Yeah, it looks quite primed for a decent pullback, decent correction. I don't think this is going to be a massive bear market or anything. You never know. Black swans could come out of anywhere at the moment. In particular, the economy's in a weird random spot. But typically election years in the US don't go into recession. They do have a bit of correction around mid-Feb, and then it's generally sort of sideways and up for the rest of the year. particularly after the election. The market generally likes the certainty after an election. So yeah, we'll see. I think this next pullback in Bitcoin, if we get it, is probably going to be your last chance to buy coins at their lowest rate for another year or so. Just quickly check the Dixie. Dixie's been on a pretty decent run. Suggesting there's more in this too. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a pullback into the 200 EMA. But we might actually be heading back up into the 105s. Interesting. What else we got? Copper looks like it might bounce here, which suggests generally the economy might go well, but if we break down from this level, then that would actually coincide with a breakdown in the economy. The RSI has flipped into bearish. Volatility is probably decreasing, maybe. Let's see. This is suggesting a bearish turn there, so that actually is pointing to a breakdown of copper. Aussie dollar quickly. Not looking great. Yeah, not looking great at all. Aussie dollar's probably heading lower. Yay. Just quickly check TLT. Yeah, looks like I reckon TLT is probably going to pump a little bit here. I reckon the economy's it's suggesting down, but this could be a bit flippy floppy given the spike here. Be interesting to watch, but you'd expect if the economy goes down a bit, like if the S&P 500 goes down, you would expect this to pump a bit as well. Up into that sort of 107 range, I would think. US 2-year 10-year, we normally check that. We still haven't crossed yet. I'm looking for a cross below 0. Yeah, not much else to say. It's ridiculous, but that's what it is. And Aussie markets reached new highs, but it seems to be coiling at the moment. Nothing to suggest really either way, except for the fact the parabolic SARS heading up. But as you can see here, that can sort of do that for a while the market's heading up. So there's no bearish control zone on the RSI or anything at the moment, so not too worried about that. No indication either way at the moment anyway. Ethereum is basically just following Bitcoin at the moment, just not really as high a percentage, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, another reason why this is potentially a bit of a trap is Ethereum is actually on the way down with the parabolic SAR, so trend is down on that. We have flipped into the bullish control zone on the RSIs, but that can sort of flip-flop a bit as well. So yeah, I would say I'm in the process of taking profit and waiting at the moment to see which way we go next. But I suspect it's down over the next couple of months. That's it for now.